It's week 7 of the DDPY Positively Unstoppable Challenge, and I am unstoppable. Welcome back to my channel. I am Unstoppable. I am Dr. Tom Wallen, and it's week 7 of the DDPY Positively Unstoppable Challenge. This week's episode is a two-parter. In part 1, I'm going to be recapping my week, including my recent trip to the DDP Yoga Performance Center, which was an incredible experience. I can't wait to share all that with you. Now, part 2 of the video is going to be called How to Eat on the Road. So I'm going to go over all the nutritional strategies that I used to stay on top of my diet while I was traveling. I know for a lot of people, when they're outside of their normal daily routine, it gets a little difficult to stay on top of their diet. So I've got some ways to simplify that. Now, before we do get started, I do want to plug this shirt. This is 9line's new Unstoppable shirt. Now, the reason why this shirt is so important is all of the proceeds of the sales of the shirt go directly to Officer Matt Cooper. Now, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below with Officer Cooper's story in how to purchase the shirt. But in summary, Officer Cooper works outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and he was recently almost killed in the line of duty. It's miraculous that he's even still alive, but DDP reached out to the 9line company, and they're going to be donating all the proceeds of the shirt directly to Officer Cooper. So make sure you go check that out. So what could be said about week 7? So week 7 to me was the most anticipated week of this entire challenge because I knew what I'd be doing the entire week 7. So I was recently invited to the DDPY Performance Center as one of the invited guests to the 2019 DDPY Transformation Summit. So once a year, they reach out and they bring people from all over the world to the PC, to Smyrna, Georgia, to celebrate their transformations while using the DDP Yoga program. So I was completely blown away that I was even invited to this event. I've been featured on their website. I have a write-up as a doctor on the website as well. But to be there with all the rest of these people was a little bit overwhelming. And I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of great things that happened in that week. There was actually some downs too. I want to talk about the downs first because it was to me a little bit overwhelming, very, very humbling. When I first arrived, I was blown away. You know, you see the PC and all the videos, you see the pictures people have taken there. I recognize so many faces from people that are involved in the Facebook groups and people that work as trainers at the PC. So when I got there, I was completely overwhelmed and I had this just terrible sense that I didn't belong. So everybody there seemed to know each other. Everybody was nice, but it was all broken up into these cliques and these groups and everybody was having a great time. I felt like I was infiltrating something that I did not belong to be there. So I had to take a step back and just say, you know, you deserve to be here just as much as anybody else. So what I did was I just infiltrated all of the groups. If I saw anybody standing by themselves, walked immediately up to them and introduced myself to break the ice. If I saw a small group, if they weren't having an intense conversation, I just kind of snuck in the conversation, snuck in, shook their hand, introduced myself, asked them who they were, snuck back out. So the first day at the PC, completely overwhelming, but I tried to make as much of a negative into a positive. I really did feel, you know, everybody knew each other except for me. So I made sure everybody in that room knew who I was. So on day 1, they had a little opening ceremony where DDP was there. He gave an introduction. He thanked us all for being there. And we had about a 2-hour time where we can just kind of get to know each other and have a meet and greet. So during that time, I tried to make the best of it. I tried to introduce myself to as many people as possible and hear their stories. And it was incredible. You know, everybody there has an incredible story. I honestly didn't feel like my story was anywhere near as inspiring as most of these people. But I've had people throughout the course of the week say, Tom, you inspire me. So that was really, really humbling. I made a lot of new friends during that time. I took a lot of classes, and that was kind of the highlight of the trip was we were allowed to take classes. So on the first day, we took a large group class, which was headed by a few of the DDP yoga instructors from all around the world. And by the world, I mean people came from the UK. We had a gentleman from Slovakia. I think we had people from the Netherlands. With the United States, I met people from California, Florida, everywhere throughout the entire US. So it was really, really great. So on day one, following the opening ceremonies, I signed up for a class to take that day. And the class was unique because it was taught by 3 different instructors. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. But they had instructors from all over the country, and they all did about a 15 to 20 minute clip. So it was an hour workout, and they all had their own little spin. And it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. It kept us very engaged, which was great. And once I got loose, once I started doing that, getting to know the people that were around me, I started to feel much more comfortable. Now, I did fly directly from the airport right to the PC. So right after the class, I had to go check in at my hotel, took a little bit of a break, and then we all met for dinner at a place called Big Chow's right outside of Smyrna, where they rented out a big giant room, and everybody that was invited all went to dinner together. And that was a really, really great experience. It was loud. It was overwhelming. There was a lot of people, but the small table that I sat at was incredible. I met some people that were just blew my mind away. I'm actually going to feature a few of those in future videos. But it was a great opportunity to just finally be able to kind of just sit back, relax a little bit, get to know some people, have a great meal, share some laughs, and then get home and go to bed because day 2 is going to be just as busy. Day 2 was the busiest day for me personally. I woke up really early and took a 7:30 course. I just wanted to get my mind straight, wanted to get my body going. And after that, I had a scheduled interview with the staff at DDP Yoga. They wanted to do a feature on their website. So I got to sit down and they did a video interview. Now, I was not prepped for this at all. They didn't tell me where this was going to be held. They didn't tell me what the questions were going to be. So I was a little nervous. And, I don't have the Arthur story. I don't have the Van Tine story. I have a little bit of a different story. And again, I'll leave my transformation in the link below. So I was trying to think, what would they want from me? And it actually ended up going really well. And the highlight of this was they didn't tell me where they were going to be interviewing me. I met the interviewee. He packed up a car with me and we started driving away from the PC. So I was a little confused. I thought we were going to be doing it there. And they actually took me to DDP's accountability crib. I was the only person there. So I turned into a total mark. I was running around taking pictures. I was in every single room taking pictures of every single wall. The place is incredible. There's so much memorabilia, everything that was featured in the early workouts and the Jake the Snake movie. It's all recognizable. So they sat me in a corner in the living room, and that's where I performed my interview. The interview went really, really well. It was nerve-wracking. I was very nervous, but Tom, who interviewed me, did a great job making me comfortable, asked me some really great questions, and I'm hoping that when the video is produced and it's put up on the website, I'm hoping it inspires at least one person. The thing that Tom kept telling me is that they have a lot of stories of people that have lost tremendous amounts of weight, or people that were tremendously disabled that turned into people that are very highly functioning. But there are some people that just want to lose maybe 20, 30 pounds and get in the best shape of their life. And that's more of my story. That's where I came. I was always athletic and in decent shape. And until DDP Yoga, that's where things really flourished. And I actually became the best version of myself. So I talked a lot about that. I talked a lot about mindset and how, the idea of living life at 90% has changed my entire outlook on things. So that was really, really great. After that, I was rushed back. We had a program photo shoot, and I'm going to leave a couple pictures up there from the photo shoot. That was our opportunity to really kind of show off some of our moves. Now, I was the last person through. I got rushed immediately. I think they only snapped a couple pictures, so I was super bummed out by that. I dieted down really hard to look great in those pictures. I pumped up and things like that, but it is what it is. Still gonna make the best of it. I still have a couple great shots and the opportunity to say that my picture was taken professionally on the stage at the DDP Yoga Performance Center. So that was pretty awesome. Following that, the absolute highlight. You can't think it's gonna get better than having an interview and a professional photo shoot, but I got to take a class at DDP finally. It was awesome. It was an hour. It was intense. He put us through a workout that I've never been through before. We actually did several series of 10-second push-ups where I think we did 6 the first time and almost 8 next time. Those are personal bests for me. I've never done more than 5. So the energy in the room got everything going. By the time that day was over, I was blown away, exhausted, tired. Right after that, we actually all attended indie professional wrestling event. Southern Honor Wrestling held an event specifically around the time of the summit because they knew they'd get a big crowd. So we went to that, hung out with a new buddy, Adam, pretty much the whole night, and we had a blast. We had so much fun. It was a long day, tiring day, but a completely memorable day. Now, day 3, just as memorable, significantly less hectic, thank God. The day before, I did not eat enough calories. I know that for a fact. I tried to stay on my nutrition as close as possible, but I could feel it in that second workout. I was starting to bonk out where I didn't have enough carbohydrates. So I made sure that I carbo loaded a little bit better on that day, ate a few extra apples, and I was ready. So I woke up, one of the only people that actually got up for the early 7:30 class. One of my favorite classes. The instructors were just absolutely incredible. Again, it was the 3-instructor class. They did a really, really good job and kept me completely engaged. Body at that point was starting to feel a little bit sore, but again, the adrenaline kicks in and crushed the workout, had a great time. Shortly after that, again, maybe it's hard to compare, but we had a class with the yoga doc and it was awesome. Hour and 20 minutes, really intense. And he brings a little bit of different spin to his teaching style. He really teaches the moves, but he also goes into the intricacies of how to make the moves a little bit better, why we're doing them, how you can enhance everything. And to me, that's been lacking. I've been just kind of going through the motions for a long time, so I got so much out of that class. And for teaching, I know that that's going to be my spin. I'm going to teach the moves, and then I'm going to start to get a little bit more advanced on why and how to make those moves even better. So Yoga Doc just blew me away. He's such a huge man. He's such a nice guy. So that was really great. So after that was basically the end of the summit. That night, his band Iron Mullet was playing. I was tired. I had an early morning flight the next morning, so I just went to bed, wrapped everything up. Overall, tremendous experience. I was really, really glad I was able to get out of my comfort zone and just introduce myself to everybody and try to make the best out of something that felt a little bit exclusive. But once I realized, I deserve to be there just as much as everybody else, that change in mindset really helped me out. So I made so many incredible friends. I can't wait to keep in touch with everybody. I heard so many inspiring stories. And in fact, I'm going to do a series after this video of, it's going to be called Who Inspires Me? And this is going to be a video series based on people that I met at Summit that they do have transformations on the website, but they're not the transformations that are the most publicized, but to me are actually more inspiring than some others. So I have some personal favorites. So I can't wait to put together those videos. I know for Larry and Emily and Christina and they're really, really excited, and especially Jesse, that I'm going to be doing a video on them, which is going to be great. So keep an eye out for those. So that covers my week. Overall, for the challenge itself, because of the amount of calories that I burned, which was excessive with the workouts, and I was maybe a little bit low on some of my macronutrients. I was probably a little low on protein, probably a little low on fats, a little lower on calories. I probably was a little higher on my carbs, but when I got back, I was actually 5 pounds lighter than I was before I left, which was, I've been on pace of losing about 1 pound a week. So was this all fat? Probably not, but I definitely am significantly leaner than I was when I left. So it was a big boost that I needed. My metabolism got a huge boost. So overall, I'm completely on track. Next week, I'll be back in the gym, working as hard as ever. I'll be working continuously on getting my level 1 certification. So I'm completely on point with the challenge, maybe even a few steps ahead. From a motivational standpoint, it hasn't been stronger. I have a contest to win has been my mantra since day one. Every single day I'm reminding myself that. So on my next video, part 2, I'm going to be covering how I ate during the week that I was away and nutritional strategies, how to eat on the road. So Be sure to like this video, leave a comment in the comment box below if you did attend the summit. Give me a shout out, and be sure to watch out for part 2.